Hi, good morning, welcome down to Devon Koi Pond on a winter's morning. Bit breezy this morning. I've got some footage to show you this week of me finishing off the solar installation, which was Friday and Saturday. It's Sunday today. We're expecting a storm later today. It's brightish at the moment, but odd shower or two around. Got one or two little jobs to do down here this morning before the weather does get too bad. Got a bit of a clear out in the veg filter. I want to take the last of the lily leaves out. I'll show you the mimulus that's still been growing really well underneath the cover, and whacking the nitrates. Pond test this morning have all showed up absolutely spot on. Fish are not very active. I haven't looked at the water temp yet this morning, but we'll have a look at that as we go over and have a quick look in the veg filter. Then I'll whip you over and we'll have a look at the footage from the solar installation the other day. That's all up and running now, looks fine. Just got to sort it out so I can plug bits of the pond into it and see what I can actually get off of it, see what we can do with it. But let's have a look at the pond temperature a minute and have a look in the veg filter. And just a quick glimpse on what I'm going to do there. Got to clean the filters as well this morning. They haven't been flushed for a fortnight. The vortex definitely needs a flush. The easy pods, maybe not, I'm not sure yet. I'll do the vortex first and see what they look like afterwards. So let's have a look over here a minute. So, as you can see, the fish are down there. They're moving around, but they're quite well down. I haven't given them much food in the last week or two. They've not had a lot. So, after last week, we're at 9.7 on the pond temp. It did go down to 8.9. We had a really cold week, several days of frost, and that really took it down a bit, but that was a bit exceptional though last week. Temperature up over 11 degrees. Here we are in the veg. As you can see, the mimulus is still growing really well underneath the cover. That does tend to grow all winter, even in the cold weather, but obviously it's liking having a cover over the top of it. And I've got to get rid of the lilies here, so I'll be doing that in a bit. I think I'm going to push the covers back over the pond though, because it's getting a little bit breezy here and I don't want to bend them, and they'll be flapping around catching the wind, so I need to have a look at them a minute. So that's all that done for a minute, and I give the filter a clean, then we'll whip you over into the workshop. It's cold down here today, don't want to be down here too long, so I'll get on with this and flick you over to the workshop. So catch you in a minute. Hi, so over here in the workshop we've had a little bit of a chance to get on with the solar system a little bit this week. A few more of the bits have arrived. I've got practically everything now. And I've learnt a lot this week on solar power. At the moment I've got all the batteries wired up, I've got the inverter wired up. It's probably not going to be nice enough today to get up on the roof and do the solar panels, but I'll get to that. But I'm going to get the charge controller mounted on and that's sorted, and I'll give you a quick look at how far I've got with it. It's looking okay so far. I've been quite active on several of the solar forums this week. I've learnt a lot of things that I've already done wrong. I think I might have gone for a grid-tied system if I'd have known right from the start what I was doing, but seeing as I already had the batteries, I was kind of tied to this sort of system. But I'll also be looking at laying my hands on a grid-tied inverter system so that I can actually just run the power straight back into the mains in the house here and use it directly that way, as it seems that you'd be able to use all of it that way, whatever you could get back. But we'll finish this off, and I can always change over the systems as I go and see what happens, because I do always like to play around and improve with things. So let's have a quick look at how far I've got so far, and then I'll add the charge controller and give you another quick look at it, and maybe if it dries up I'll pop the camera up on the roof and catch me popping the solar panels on. So let's have a look and see what I've done so far. So right here I've got my batteries all linked up, all 5 batteries running up through a fuse up to the inverter. I've now just got to pop this one up there and mount this one up to the batteries. I can then check this one that it's working. Then all I need to do is bring the solar panel wires down through when I've got the panels on the roof. So I'll give you another look at that in a minute after I've got that one mounted up and wired in, and we'll take it from there. Catch you in a minute. So we've now finished and got the charge controller on the wall. Batteries are showing 13.3 volts. We've got everything wired in here. Now with this you have to treat them all as one big battery, so all the negatives are linked across. I'm taking the negative feed off one end battery and I have the positive feed off the other end, feeding the inverter. So if I knock the inverter on, this should bring some power out the batteries. So there we go. On the inverter the batteries are showing 13.5 volt. Charge controller is all ready to go. All I got to do is get up on the roof and wire the solar panel in. And I don't think I'm going to be doing that today, but it will be in a clip in the video in a little bit. So I'll leave it at that for now and see if the weather improves and I can make the frame to hold the panels up on the roof and get them up there. And here we are, all finished. Inverter in, charge controller in, panels on the roof, batteries fully charged at the moment. They were already topped up, and it's been on the panels about half an hour, and charge controller's actually shut down because the batteries don't need any more. So that's that little job done. So all I've got to work out now is a lead out to supply some of the stuff out in the little shed out the front that the pond bits are in, that I can just plug an air pump or the UV light straight into a socket out there that's running off the inverter here, and I should be set to run that. But I'll be giving it some testing over the next week or two, running stuff here in the workshop, and we'll see how it goes from there. But quite a neat install. Wire just goes up through the roof. Take you outside, give you a quick glimpse of the panels on the roof a minute. So there, that's the 4 panels on the roof, generating away. We're on free electric in here for now, so that's fantastic. Inverter doesn't have to be on all the time, only when I'm using it. And I've got a trip switch there, can knock the battery bank out with, which is very handy. So we're going to be giving this some testing over the next few days and see what happens. So this is the second swirl with the Easy Pod this morning. I've give the first one 2 cleans. I'll leave the second one. Maybe give that one a go on Wednesday when I get home from work. But it's not worth giving it a clean today. Set this all back up and running. Top up the missing water. And that's a little job for this morning. But it's a murky day down here today. We've got some sunshine. So I'll have a look at the panels. See what they're coming in. But it's low in the sky. So I'm not expecting too much. That's this one empty. So now flick the sump pump on and drain that one back. So excuse the mess in the workshop. We've been busy in here with solar set up. So yeah, this morning we got 13.8 on the batteries. Batteries are at 12 degrees. I don't know what that means. And we've got 1.2, 1.1 amps coming in charging the batteries at the moment. Sun's low in the sky, so there's not a lot coming in. But the batteries will creep up on that over the day. And pretty soon we'll have a play around and see what I can run off of it. Pretty sure I can run the UV light, 55 watts. And like I say, an air pump. So we'll have a crack at that. But yeah, excuse the mess. This is what happens and the mess you get into when you're working. So from down here in Devon, on this rather chilly morning, air temperatures barely 4 degrees down here. It's blooming freezing. It's been a happy ponding weekend. We've done as much as we can this weekend. It's been cold. Went up on the roof, did the panels. That wasn't too nice, but I did pick the best day of the weekend to do it, which was the Saturday. So I was glad to get that up and done. It was a little bit more of a pain to put up than I thought it was going to be, but they're up. I'd like to say thanks to all the new subscribers. We're well clear of the 1,000 mark now and still climbing. I know it's winter, I know there's not a lot going on, but I'll still got bits to video. And I'll probably keep videoing up till Christmas, and after Christmas I'm going to do a competition New Year giveaway. I don't want to be involved in the Christmas post, so I'll get that competition in the new year. I'll get that sorted, and I'll give away one of the new koi temperature plaques. They've got a digital reader in the middle of them. They're a little bit smaller than the old ones, but that means it was less plastic, which was ideal because the bits that I had left over were smaller. So I've got those to give away, and some little koi plaques with them as well. Plus also some koi first aid kits that I happened to put my hands on very cheap, and did pay for them, but I don't mind passing them on as prizes. So from down here in Devon now this week, it's goodbye from me and happy ponding. Catch you all soon.